right. Postgame show. Terry Ford and Jalen Tart and Terry Ford and Jalen Tart. We're all hanging around. I got to put my stuff down. It's a busy time around this place. End of the year. Getting stuff together. Woo! All righty. Appreciate Jalen coming in and hanging out, punching the buttons for us today. I'm going to put these headphones on. Where's Gunner's ears been? I don't know. Got to look these over and make sure they're okay. Hey, Gunner's outside sitting in the one of the chairs. I say, hey, Bill, when's the last time you Q-tipped up, man?
He's really comfy out there.
I'm jealous. Jealous. Man looks comfortable.
What's going on, Terry?
How you doing, Jalen? You good, bud?
I'm good, man.
Good. Glad. Appreciate you coming in here helping us out. You're the man.
I was in Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl, and when I tell you that was one of the most heart-stopping games I've ever seen.
I know.
I mean, for them to come back 21-0 from 21 down in one quarter is impressive. But to win the game in 4 overtimes,
that is that program.
Yeah.
Quietly goes about its business of being very good. And what they've done the last few years, what they've done for, not just last few years, for decades at South Carolina State is just impressive.
Yeah.
And that win, you're down 21-0 in the championship game, and you find a way to crawl yourself back in there to pull a W.
Yeah, and then I left the game having hope that Newberry was going to win, and then they get romped by Ferris State, 49-17.
So, that Trinidad Chambliss left a legacy at Ferris State, man. Anyway, all right, post-game show. We are hanging here until 6. Jay will be back tomorrow. He's off in Raleigh getting some treatment, so we'll have Jay back tomorrow on the show. South Carolina tonight, going to the upstate, facing Clemson. Clemson's good. I don't think they're as good as they were last year, but they're good. They're sitting at 30 in Ken Palm. They should have beat BYU and blew a 21-point lead. Came back from, 20 down?
Yeah.
In Tuscaloosa to take the lead against Alabama in the second half, but Bama got themselves together and won that game. But that was a tight one. Clemson, and when you see them play Alabama as well as they did and see them play BYU as well as they did, your question is, how the hell did you lose to Georgetown? But that happened earlier in the year at Clemson. So Clemson's good. They're deep. I think 10 guys play at least 10 minutes. 9 guys play at least 14 minutes. They're a veteran crew. They got some guys in the interior with size. They offensive rebound well. They guard the three-point line. They're pretty good at that. They don't turn the ball over a lot. They're not great from 3. They're below average from 3. But they got a couple guys that can hit threes, but as a team, below average from 3. They don't rely on the 3 like some squads do today.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, this is the best team that South Carolina's played all year.
Yeah. And the fact that they're able to be in close games and to compete at a high level in those close games, like you said, they should have beat BYU.
Yep.
The way that they were pummeling them in the first half was just incredible. But BYU, having DeBonsta and other surrounding castmates,
DeBonsta went nuts in the second half of that game.
If they don't have a player like that, they're not a premier program. What they are this year.
Here's what it is, ready? BYU decided, they said, you know what, we got a lot of money.
Yeah.
We got to start spending a lot of money on NIL to get players. That's why you see some of the dudes that are at BYU in basketball and football these days.
Yeah, the matchup predictor has Carolina have a 14% chance of winning tonight.
Yeah, Clemson it's the best team that the Gamecocks have played all year. It'll be a nice little test on the road, see where you're at. You're coming off even though it might be the most disappointing double-digit win you've ever seen against Citadel, one of the worst teams in college basketball. South Carolina kind of sleptwalked through it. Finally got a working double-digit margin late in the game, but it wasn't. I mean, Lamont Paris was not happy. Shouldn't have been. You should beat Citadel by 30. I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
I think getting a win at Clemson would really give them some real momentum going into the conference play, having 2 games left against SC State and University of Albany.
If you can find a way to win against what is your toughest opponent of the season on the road in their barn, that would be a nice injection of confidence, not only for your players, but really the fan base right now is sort of about the men's basketball team.
Yeah.
They haven't really been given any reason to get excited at this point. The better teams that South Carolina's played, they've lost to. So and coming off of last year, which was a debacle.
And they've been close. The tough teams that they've lost to have been at least 7-point margins.
I mean, yes, they haven't been blown out. They've stayed in each one of those games they've lost. It's just, getting over the hump. And we've seen the same problems over and over. They don't have a lot in the interior on either end of the court. They're not going to score a lot in the paint with traditional inside the paint scoring. They're not great at defending in general, but especially the interior. Teams have really punished South Carolina down low or drives to the rack. There's really no rim protector or eraser. So the same things over and over we've seen. Offensively, there have been some good moments. Early in the year, they were banging threes. The way they spread the floor, they get some good looks inside the three-point arc. They're a good two-point shooting team, below average from three. Don't rebound very well. But offensively, the pieces are there to compete night in and night out if you can get consistent. To me, Jalen, versatility on offense is a thing, and really defense. They're going to have trouble guarding teams. And that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
But offensively, there's stuff there. Mongolian Mike, I like to see Sharmjan shoot more.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think he's their best all-around offensive player, and he doesn't get enough touches, and he doesn't take enough shots.
And he's very athletically talented. So like you said, he's really good inside, driving to the basket, finishing at the basket, rebounding. And I just think besides him and Michi Johnson, those are your two best players. Eli Ellis is coming along. He's a freshman. Everybody has to remember that he is a freshman.
Right. And look, Michi is just so inconsistent. That's the problem with Michi.
Yeah.
If you could get good Michi 3 out of 4 games, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get good Michi and bad Michi in the same game multiple times. When Michi's on it, he's thumbs up. But when he's off,
yeah, shooting 45% from the field, that's not going to get it done.
And again, he's so streaky, especially from 3. Michi's just a very inconsistent offensive player. That's why I like to see more of the offense run through Mongolia.
Mike. I agree.
Much more consistent. Again, I just don't think he's aggressive enough in general. Whether it's looking for creating. You'll see these 3 or 4 minute spurts with Mike where he really affects the game on offense, right? Mm-hmm. He's making some plays offensively for himself. He's creating for others. I would like to see more offense go through. And even Lamont said they should run more offense through Mike. So we'll see where it all goes tonight. But a trip to Clemson to take on a good Clemson Tiger squad. Again, it's the best test that South Carolina's had all year. And look, Ken Palm, their prediction for South Carolina this year is 13 wins. 13 and 17, roughly. Somewhere in that ballpark. I don't know how big that's going to go over. I hope South Carolina can achieve, like they did 2 years ago, over projections.
Yeah.
I really do.
In that SEC conference.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
a whole.
It's really good. Not as last year. It was incredibly crazy good.
Yeah.
This year, it's still very good. Not as good as last year, but still, you look at South Carolina and you look at some of these other teams in the SEC, and you're like, unless South Carolina lights it up from 3, how are they going to win some of these games?
Yeah.
It's
the competition has changed. I think a lot of the international type of play now with players coming from different countries has changed a lot of the concepts to where it's more competitive at a higher level and it's more physical now. Well, so, I mean, with Carolina, I think they have a fighter's chance, but I think they have to make some adjustments. If they can get it, like I said, if they get a win tonight, that's going to really change the trajectory of where their season could go.
Well, you hope that will give them the confidence that they can play with, upper-level teams. I mean, Clemson, again, is a top 30 team in the country. Are they going to win a national championship? No.
No.
Are they a Final Four squad? No. Again, I think they were better last year than they are this year, but it's a good basketball team. Clemson will be in the NCAA tournament. unless they have some kind of they fall off the side of the hill.
From grace.
Yeah, they should be an NCAA tournament team. So you're going to get a chance to test yourself against the best squad you faced all year. Let's see how you do, and if you could find a way to go there and pull a W, you feel better about yourself moving forward, going into a couple more cupcakes and then SEC play. We'll see tonight, 6:30 pregame here on 107.5 The Game in Columbia and our affiliate 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. 7 o'clock tip with Derek and Casey on the call. So we'll see how it goes down tonight with South Carolina taking on Clemson. All right, so for fun today, I was sitting around. We're putting together what we've done the last few years here, the best of the game 2025. We'll run it the last 2 weeks of the year like we have previously. And one of the things we're going to do this year is we're going to grab like a whole day. And one of the whole days we're going to grab is South Carolina Day at SEC Media Days back in July in Atlanta. And so as we're pulling this stuff from July, kind of half hearing some of the predictions and prognostications. So I was like, you know what? What the heck? I grabbed my stuff from SEC Media Days, the media predictions from July. I figured we'll look at it and just see how well the media did or how bad the media did. And we'll take a look at that come up here in the next segment on the show. Some of these things are pretty interesting. Like if you go back and look at the preseason All-SEC team, the media totally whiffed on all the quarterbacks. Every one of them. So we'll talk about that and some other stuff that I am seeing from the 2025 preseason SEC Media Days media predictions. So we'll get into that coming up in the next segment. Again, post-game show. Jay not here today. We'll be back with us tomorrow. Jalen's here to punch the buttons. Terry Ford, appreciate you hanging out with us. We will run until 6 here on The Game. All right, post-game show. Terry Ford, appreciate you hanging out with us as we roll this baby up until 6. Jalen's here punching the buttons. Jay will be back on Wednesday. All right, so just for fun, because, again, like I said, we're putting together our end-of-the-year stuff. Last 2 weeks of the year, we give you basically a look back on 2025 here on the radio station. Just a year in Gamecock sports and things of that nature. And we were pulling the whole day for SEC Media Days to run for you. And it's got me thinking, how well did the media pick? How well was this done? Who picked what? How'd it go? And I look at, first of all, the quarterbacks, the all-SEC preseason team, first team, second team, third team quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Lenore Sellers, mm-hmm. Garrett Nussmeier, LSU.
Mm-hmm. I remember that, yeah.
Arch Manning, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
How about 0 for 3?
Yeah.
Ready?
Pavia.
Diego Pavia, first team. Second team. Ready? Who had Trinidad Chambliss, baby?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Trinidad Chambliss didn't even write down Trinidad Chambliss. Okay? Nobody saw that one coming at all. And third team, Gunnar Stockton. Now, there was a little bit of Gunnar Stockton love at SEC Media Days, a little bit.
Gunnar Stockton over A&M's quarterback.
Yeah, over Marcel Reed. Now, I think that is an interesting point because Reed was very good.
He was good. And their team's in the playoffs. So, I mean,
Stockton got it going as the year went on.
Yeah. Georgia looks really good, too. So, yeah.
Georgia looks like they're Georgia again.
Yeah.
All right. So, for an example, and I will do this really quick. All right. So, if we look at, first of all, Gunnar Stockton. All right. Well, we'll compare Gunnar Stockton and Marcel Reed side by side here. All right, Gunnar Stockton this year hit almost 71% of his throws.
I'll look up Marcel.
Struggled under pressure at 50%. Was good against the blitz, 74%. Big time throws, 14. Turnover worthy plays, 12. About 67% medium depth, only 34% deep. Only threw about 30% of his throws over 9 yards. All right, so you look at Reed, and plus Gunnar Stockton does run, but Marcel Reed is a better runner than Gunnar Stockton.
He completed 61.8% of his passes, threw for 2,932 yards, threw for 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and sacked 10 times, and had a QB rating of 153.2.
So I'm sitting here looking at it, and throwing the football, Reed was a better deep ball thrower. Medium area, Stockton was better. Reed threw it down the field a little bit more than Stockton. Mm-hmm. Reed struggled more under pressure than Gunnar Stockton. Overall stats, touchdown passes, Reed had more touchdown passes, but Reed also 18 turnover-worthy plays.
Yeah.
So, honestly,
it could go either way.
Yeah, I would probably put Stockton there, but Marcel Reed obviously had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
All right, so we look at, so it's Diego Pavia, Trinidad Chambliss, and Gunnar Stockton. No Lenore Sellers, Garrett Nussmeier, or Arch Manning anywhere to be found. So quarterback-wise, talk about whiffs. Whiff, whiff, and whiff by the media. Not good. I won't lie to you. I went second team. I went Lenore's first team. I think I had Arch Manning second team, and I put John Mateer third team. And Mateer was good till he got hurt. And after Mateer got hurt, just wasn't the same quarterback. But I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, man, I nailed that Trinidad Chambliss, baby. Woo! No.
Ole Miss fans probably saying that, right?
He wasn't even the starter to begin the year.
Yeah.
Austin Simmons was. So, it's just very, very funny just looking at the quarterback position in these preseason picks. Just wow.
Then it's like the quarterbacks that are returning, and then, too, You got Dylan Raiola in the transfer portal. We don't know where he's going to go.
Nope.
Me personally, I'll just say this quick. I think he's going to Florida.
I mean, he could go. He could be Florida. He end up at Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, there was talk that a deal was already done with Miami, but I could see him in Florida. I mean, they ran off DJ Lagway. I mean, Lagway went into his meeting, the Florida quarterback from the last 2 years. Lagway goes into his meeting with the new head coach, John Summerall. Word was Lagway wanted to stay. After that meeting, Lagway's like, I'm the hell out of here. I mean, so obviously that meeting did not go well. They did not jive. There was no synergy, no chemistry. They didn't leave that becoming, Instagram buddies.
Wow.
So whatever happened in that meeting, Lagway done. So yeah, Florida needs a quarterback. Could it be a Dylan Raiola? Sure, it could be. Could be a Sam Levitt? Sure.
Immediately after I saw that, I personally thought this could be the beginning of the end for Matt Rule in Nebraska. But he just signed.
Yeah, he signed an extension.
Deal.
I guess here's my thought on that. It's very simple. I remember Raiola's dad obviously played at Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Raiola's uncle was the offensive line coach who just got bounced. And after the offensive line coach got bounced, Raiola hit the portal. Here, I'll throw another one at you. Could you say, wow, Nebraska's in trouble. They're losing all these Raiolas. Maybe the best thing for Nebraska is to lose all these Raiolas.
Yeah.
Every now and then in life, you get a crew of divas who think they can run the show, and that might be to the detriment of your football program, and you might be better off. It's called addition by subtraction. Yeah. You might be better off with these folks leaving. If their attitude isn't the attitude you need to go win, if they're very selfish, very me, very diva, Dylan Raiola sitting around going, Coach Rule, I asked for blue M&Ms.
Why did I get red?
Practice. You know who I am, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know if that's what's going on, but again, there's a disconnect. And maybe it's just better for both parties, to be fair, for them to go their separate ways, and it just means it didn't work.
Yeah.
It might be that simple, or there might be a lot more to it. It's more fun when it's juicy, right?
Yep.
That's when it's fun, baby.
Now, I do want to ask, too, which ones did we get right in terms of
I'm looking at this right now. Even the running backs. First team preseason was the kid Wisner at Texas, and also Le'Veon Moss from Texas A&M. Moss got hurt, to be fair.
Yeah.
First team, Ahmad Hardy of Missouri, Kejuan Lacey of Ole Miss. Obviously,
Ahmad Hardy.
They were both beasts.
Yeah.
Both of them. Second team, this is where it gets interesting. Once again, showing you what the media thought they knew. Jaden Ott at Oklahoma, the transfer from Cal, and Caden Durham of LSU.
Caden Durham wasn't,
0 for 2 there. So right now the media, ready for this?
Yeah.
0 for 7 with running backs and quarterbacks. Now, third team, the media had Nate Frazier of Georgia, Jam Miller of Alabama in running backs. And third team, Jeremiah Cobb of Auburn, and Nate Frazier of Georgia. Media got one, baby.
Media got one, yeah.
So
Nate Frazier was really good, yeah.
So out of the top 9 we just looked at, media's got one.
Wow.
It's not good numbers, Jalen.
No, it's not.
It's not good. Okay, we'll look at wide receivers real quick. Ryan Williams, Alabama. Cam Coleman, Auburn, with preseason first-teamers. Aaron Anderson, LSU. Ryan Wingo, Texas. Second-team preseason at wide receiver. Third team, Eric Singleton, Auburn. Kevin Coleman Jr., Missouri.
They had to get Ryan Williams.
End of the year, Chris Brazil of Tennessee, who had a real brother.
Really good.
Chris Brazil from Tennessee had a really good year. Casey Concepcion was filthy.
He was
at Texas
he was
A&M.
A monster.
Also, let's see, second team. No, well, Ryan Wingo.
Okay.
Zachariah Branch at Georgia. Isaiah Satenga at Oklahoma. They were nowhere to be found here. And let's see, third team. Brennan Thompson, Mississippi State. Mario Craver, Texas A&M. So the Texas A&M wide receivers were second team, third team.
Wow.
Oh, so out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 wide receivers, media got one. So far,
2 for 11?
Yes. Not good. It's not good. It's not good, Jalen. Not good at all. Media did not do well. If you look at just skill position, tight end Eli Stowers, at Vandy was first team postseason. Trades Green of LSU was second team. Daquan Wright of Ole Miss tied for second team. And third team was Jaron Kanek, the converted linebacker at Oklahoma. Let's see, preseason. Oh, my God, the media nailed Eli Stowers, baby, first team. Oscar Delp, Georgia, second team. Jack Andres, Texas, third team. So we're looking at one.
That's three,
two,
four. Four, okay.
Out of 15?
15?
Yeah, not good.
That's not great.
That's not good.
That's not great. I'm about to tally these totals.
Not good. I'm looking at
That's
the
26%.
Yeah, it's not good. Offensive line-wise, I'm looking at this. I don't think the offensive line went well either. Caden Green was the only one
Proctor.
The media got out of first team. Caden Green at Texas. Okay, Antonio Barber, Florida.
Mm-hmm. He was good.
That's a good one. DJ Campbell, Texas. That's 3 offensive linemen so far. Yeah, we'll get to more. We'll come back and look at the rest of it.
Okay.
The rest of the offense and the defense, the preseason SEC picks by the media, and the final numbers at the end of the year. It's a post-game show with Terry Ford and Jalen Tart on the game. All right, we're just sitting around here on the post-game show looking at this SEC preseason picks by the media and just seeing how the media did. And on offense, the media was not good. I looked at this. The offensive line, it was better. Got like 10 off the offensive line. Defensively, it's okay. They hit some. Better defensively than offensively, it seems like, just kind of glancing over it. You know, I mean, again, Dylan Stewart was picked first team All SEC. Stewart finished second team.
Yeah.
So at least, I mean, Stewart's there just to, and Jalen Kilgore predicted before the season started second team, did end up second team.
Wow.
Brian Thomas, third team. I'll say this right now, though. Their best overall defensive player was Brandon Cisse. And he's not anywhere to be found on this.
Yeah.
And he was better than Kilgore this year. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
And so, I'm gonna go back and look again in case I missed Cisse, but I did not see Cisse on this list.
He's gonna be so good in that.
He's gonna be a first or second round pick, either late first or second round pick in the NFL draft. He's very versatile. I think he's better in the slot than boundary as a corner. But I think he can have a nice NFL career.
I think so as well.
Well, look, if Kilgore can get back to the player he was last year, and I know Kilgore was nicked up a bit this year, but if he can get back to being the player he was last year, I mean, Kilgore's got NFL skills. He does. It's just he's got to, and he's going to go. My guess is he'll get drafted in the third round. I'm just off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's not a bad take.
It's not bad to end up in the third round. I mean, you were looked at as possibly a first rounder coming into the year again. You got nicked up a little bit. You didn't play as well as you did last year. And to be fair, the South Carolina pass rush wasn't as good as it was last year. I tell you, it's a lot easier to cover people for one or 2 seconds than for 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I think Cisse will go no worse than middle of the second round. I think Kilgore could be a third rounder, maybe late second if somebody really likes him in that spot. But they're both going to get the opportunity to play in the league, no doubt.
And the crazy thing is, too, it's a lot of quarterbacks that are coming back that is going to make this even harder for, media to predict of who will finish where at the end of the 2026 season. So,
well, it is interesting because, Arch Manning's coming back. That was announced. If everything's getting put together for Lenoris to come back,
that will kind of be a resurging year for him.
So, in a new offense, it will be more built to his skill set.
Gunnar Stockton.
So you look at it.
Yeah.
Gunnar Stockton's back.
Yeah.
Marcel Reed's back. Ty Simpson's coming back. Arch Manning's coming back.
John Mateer's coming. Like, everybody, offensively, the SEC will be
Bo Pribula still has eligibility at Missouri. Let's see. I'm cutting through here. But that's just a lot off the top of my head of who's coming back. I mean, Diego Pavia will probably apply for a 15th year. Why not? Diego's like, hey, why not? Let me give it a whirl.
28, 29 years old.
25-year-old, man. He's 25 years old.
People see him on the screen in the lower third will say 6 year of eligibility, and they'd be like, man, can this guy leave?
This cat is now off his parents' insurance. I mean, so yeah, you got a lot of quarterbacks coming back. And look, the thought process was Lenore Sellers wouldn't be coming back. And Arch Manning, remember, there were people who thought Arch Manning was going to be so wonderful and so great, he would be gone to the draft. But instead, they're coming back. Ty Simpson, a month ago was projected as a first-round pick, but Simpson kind of fell off late in the year. Simpson will be coming back. So you got some dudes coming back.
Yeah, I kind of a lot of people were saying that, Lenoris would go to the league and everything. I personally thought, from what I saw, I personally didn't think he wasn't fully developed yet. And I think now that he's coming back, one with a new coordinator, this will be his third coordinator. So I'm just hoping that this, Briles will be the answer to project Lenoris into where he was supposed to go this year if things have gone the way it could have gone. But I like him coming back, though.
I mean, look, none of these guys are ready.
Yeah.
They're just not anymore. But the idea that if you're Lenore Sellers, I still think he would have gone somewhere in the lower part of the first round. Because with that kind of talent and ability, you watch what happened in South Carolina last year, and if you're an NFL scout, an NFL front office guy, you can excuse away, say the offensive line was crap, the system of offense was crap, this guy was put into a bad position by his OC. We've seen the skill set. We saw it the year before. We're going to take him in the first round because he has high upside, high ceiling, physically a freak, can make the throws, can use his legs. We're going to take him, and we're going to make him a franchise quarterback. I still think somebody would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But I get Lenore's. I mean, you're going to get an offense that is totally catered to you. Kendall Browse will build this offense to his skill set, just like he did KJ Jefferson at Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lenore's is going to, be able to play freer, just go out and do what you do best. Don't try to make him do things that aren't in his best interest.
Yeah.
I mean, you got an offense that's going to spread out the defenses. It's going to give you better matchups in the passing game and in the running game. This offense scores points. Kendall Browse is good at what he does.
Yeah, 30.8. That's a big jump from 21.7.
I mean, remember last year, for a while, there was one team in the country that hadn't gained over 350 yards of total offense, South Carolina. So this is just going to be a much better offense, much more well-suited to Lenore's, and this should help him put a better resume out there for the NFL.
I think so, and I think with him striving in this, we haven't seen it yet, but I think this could be a potential bid for the Heisman if it goes the way it's supposed to go, hopefully.
And the other part, make no mistake, another reason you come back is because you're going to get a nice NIL check.
Yeah.
So you're going to get paid well to come back and try to improve your draft stock.
Mm-hmm.
And if things do go the way we hope they'll go, you do improve your draft stock. South Carolina has a better season than 4-8. You leave with a better taste in your mouth. And
look at the schedule. We're playing Georgia at the end of the year, at the end of the
Clemson
season.
At the very end. Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's a new world, my man. It's a new world. The new world. And speaking of predictions with the preseason SEC, the order of finish.
Oh, yes.
In the SEC. The predicted order of finish by the media. Here we go. Texas first, Georgia second, Alabama third, LSU fourth, South Carolina fifth. Georgia, Ole Miss, A&M, Bama, Texas. Ole Miss was picked 7th. Ended up second. A&M was picked third.
And they finished third.
I mean, no, they finished third. I'm sorry. They were picked 8th.
And finished third.
Let's see. Georgia was picked second, finished first. Well, Alabama was picked fourth. Alabama was picked third, finished fourth. Oklahoma finished 6th. They were picked 10th. The team that did the best, though, that the least was expected of, was Vandy.
Yeah. Was Vandy picked last?
Vanderbilt finished 7th, and they were picked 12th.
Wow.
The one that fell the most, obviously, was South Carolina, preseason 5th, and South Carolina, end of the year, tied for next to last.
Wow.
So they took a large fall. Florida was preseason number 6, and Florida was just above South Carolina. So Florida and South Carolina were the two biggest underachievers. The biggest overachiever, Vanderbilt. And, Missouri was going, and then you lose your quarterback to injury. But Missouri was picked low, too. All right, so come back here, open up the vault, see what's going on today in the history of sports. That is next here on the Postgame Show on The Game and The Game Network. All right, post-game show. Terry Ford, appreciate you hanging out. Tonight, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip. We have got South Carolina, the men, going upstate to face Clemson, their toughest opponent of the season. Again, that is coming up tonight, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip on the game here in Columbia and our affiliate 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. Thursday, Carolina calls with Derek and head coach Lamont Paris. That is 7 p.m. right here on The Game. All right, Jalen, you can hit that fancy little thing. You can go over there and hit that little thing that says Vault, and we'll get our day in history. Just go click on that baby for me real quick.
What page?
Don't worry about it. We're good. Here's the Vault. All right. On this day, some guy named Drew Brees broke a record from some guy named Peyton Manning. Nail it. There we go, Jalen.
19 straight completions now for Drew Brees. That ties his career high in a game. But I think he's searching for another mighty mark. Will he get it here? Yes! Touchdown pass, 5-4-0 in the 504.
There it is. You can knock that baby down. You can pot her down there, Jalen. Drew Brees on this day, 2019, broke Peyton Manning's all-time career touchdown mark with his 540th touchdown pass. In this game, Brees went 29 of 30 for 307 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Against the Colts, that were 6 and 8 after the game.
Just vile. Yeah. Just a vile performance from Drew Brees.
I wonder, will that ever be broken?
It's a lot of touchdowns, man.
I'm surprised Mahomes has not.
He might be the only guy
that can do it. Okay.
Right now. I mean, if you go back to the other thing about Brees, because we lose this in that game, the fact that he broke the record. But again, let me repeat this: 30 pass attempts, 29 of them complete for 307 yards. Oh, and by the way, in 2019, Drew Brees was only 40 years old.
Yeah.
4 years younger than Paw Paw.
You're not going to get that from Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers, I love him. You're like if he throws 4 the whole year.
You did get a touchdown. He scored. He was the only one that scored a touchdown in the game. So, I mean, you got to give him that. So
I want to give Paw Paw a ton of credit, man.
Yeah.
He went out there 44 years old with that dad bod. You know, he's wearing a bra. He's got his dad gut. He's been coaching football. He's been for, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. He just looks like his old self again, just with a football helmet and pad. He just said it felt normal, but he was like, when I got sandwiched on the botched snap, it didn't feel good. But, I mean, he still had fun. It's just the fact that the defense didn't show up at the climax part of the game. Sam Darnold was just picking them apart.
Sad part is that the Colt defense did show up for like 59 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor ran the ball really well.
They just,
they couldn't get that ball downfield to Alec Pierce.
Well,
they just couldn't.
I put it this way. You go in and play one of the best teams in the NFL in their house with a 44-year-old quarterback who's been retired for 5 years and he's a grandpa, and you held that team to no touchdowns and almost stole a win.
Yeah. Almost
stole a win. It was That was very interesting on Sunday. Also, let's see, this day in the vault. Besides what happened with Drew Brees, this day in 2013, we will not speak of him because of his off the field stuff. But Justin Tucker of the Baltimore Ravens kicked 6 field goals in this day in 2013, including a 61-yarder in the final minute, as the Ravens beat the Lions in overtime 18-16.
Was this the one where it went off the crossbar?
No, that's when he kicked the NFL record.
Okay.
That one doinked on the crossbar and fell over.
Okay. That was the one I remember very thoroughly. I remember where I was.
Yes. I mean, and of course, we don't talk about Justin Tucker anymore because of this.
The accusations.
Yes, the issues.
Yes.
Away from the field.
Yeah.
I'll always say this about that. If you're a professional athlete, you have trainers at your complex. You know what they're good at? Massages. They've got masseuses that are certified at the sites where these teams are, at their complexes, that can massage every problem you have away. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. But anyway, Justin Tucker, really, I mean, a Hall of Fame resume. But when you have these kind of issues,
that scratches everything.
Warren Moon on this day in 1990. Warren Moon was a phenomenal quarterback.
Amazing.
527 yards passing, second greatest passing day in NFL history. Oilers beat Kansas City 27-10. Again, Moon on this day in 1990, 527 yards passing. Unreal. All right, there's your vault. 4 o'clock hour. We will jump back in again. Big game tonight in the upstate for South Carolina against Clemson. We'll focus back on that again. And the transfer portal is opened up, baby. A lot of quarterbacks in the portal. We'll get into that next here on the postgame show. All righty, post-game show. Terry Ford hanging out with you. Jalen's here punching the buttons for us. Jay will be back tomorrow here on the game. All right, tonight, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip. South Carolina facing Clemson. We talked a little bit about Clemson earlier. A team that's very deep. They'll play 9-10 guys. They got some poundage in the interior. Veterans all over the place. They got a couple guys Dylan Hunter can make us really good from the three-point line. Justin Porter above average. They got some guys that score on the inside, Carter Welling, R.J. Godfrey. It's a team that, again, they don't turn the ball over. They're a good offensive rebounding squad, top 50 in the country. Don't shoot a ton of threes, and they're below average at making them. They are only 32% of their points come from the three-point line. So they score a lot inside the arc, which has been a weakness of South Carolina's defense. A veteran squad, top 40 in the country in experience, and they use their bench, like I said, top 25 in bench percentage. So that's what you're getting tonight. South Carolina, flip side. Gamecocks, their turnover percentage, they don't force a lot of turnovers. So you probably won't see a lot of turnovers tonight for Clemson. South Carolina, they are number 30 in the country in two-point field goal shooting percentage. They're 265th in the country shooting threes. But South Carolina shoots a ton of threes. 48% of their shots are from three. And you're like, but Tara, if you're below average making them, why do you take so many? Well, a couple of things. A, Lamont's hoping that they're going to start making threes like they were early in the year. Two, it does spread the floor, and that's one of the reasons why South Carolina is shooting 59% inside the three-point line, because they're getting good shots inside the arc because they spread the floor so well because they want to shoot threes. But you probably should, if you're South Carolina, think more, at least right now, about attacking the basket and taking advantage of that floor space and shoot maybe a few more twos because you're better at it. No, don't stop shooting threes. I get it. You love shooting threes, but maybe get a little bit more balanced. Just saying. South Carolina does not use their bench anywhere near as much as Clemson. And South Carolina's a very experienced team, too. They're the top 35 with experience. So this will be the toughest test for the Gamecocks this year. We'll see how it goes as South Carolina at Clemson. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip here on 107.5 The Game in Columbia and our affiliate 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. All right, the transfer portal is a cooking. Quarterbacks are diving in.
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola of Nebraska is in the portal. Where could Dylan Raiola end up? One place to keep an eye on is Oregon, according to some rumors. Oregon could be losing their starting quarterback, Dante Moore, to the NFL draft. And then maybe Oregon, and if you're Dylan Raiola, you see what Oregon has done for Bo Nix, what they've done for Dylan Gabriel, what they've done for Dante Moore, and you're like, hell, I like some of that. So Oregon obviously could be a spot. Miami's going to need a quarterback. We talked about DJ Lagway last hour. Miami's name could be there too. Carson Beck's going to piece out to the NFL. So we'll see where Dylan Raiola lands. Here's one. A lot of people will talk about Texas Tech because they'll need a quarterback. According to Pete Nakos of On3, do not expect Texas Tech to be a factor.
Sam Leavitt.
Let's see here. This is interesting.
Levitt, excuse me.
Sam Leavitt. Yeah, here's a little, this paragraph I'm reading about Raiola is interesting. Pete Nakos of On3 said, do not expect Texas Tech to be a factor in his recruitment in the portal, despite the fact Raiola has been known to model his game after Texas Tech alum Patrick Mahomes. But it sounds like the Red Raiders might go in another direction when it comes to quarterback for 2026. Yeah, Raiola's a little creepy with that Patrick Mahomes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit too much. If I'm Texas Tech, I'm going, it's a little weird, dude.
And that was my first time hearing about him, was that they were early comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, what?
It's the way he, like his mannerisms, his hair, is just everything.
Yeah, and I saw it, and I was like,
it's
this guy? Weird. I was like, I don't know.
It's a little weird, just saying. A little bizarre. So that's the latest on Dylan Raiola, where he could end up landing. Now, I just saw another post saying Texas Tech won't be going after Dylan Raiola.
I wonder will anyone transferring to LSU?
Well, I think that's a wild card too. There's any high-level transfer portal quarterback is going to get rumored to LSU because of Lane.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Lagway. If I'm DJ Lagway, I'd love to go to LSU and play for Kiffin, or Dylan Raiola for that matter.
Virginia Tech. I mean, that's what I've been hearing and seeing on Twitter.
That could happen too.
That Lagway could go there with James Franklin.
I mean, James Franklin isn't known for a great developer of quarterbacks, but again, you're definitely going to be starting at Virginia Tech if you go there.
Yeah, and then you got a chance to thrive because it really won't be any good teams.
I mean, James Franklin will have Virginia by year 2. Virginia Tech's going to be competing for the ACC
championship. Yep.
Yeah, James Franklin's going to. I think I will be very surprised if James Franklin doesn't do some real good work. Plus, right now, he's motivated.
I mean,
my man got fired.
He could do it in year 1.
Depending on what they bring in through the portal.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Because you brought, majority of your talent that you were going to get at Penn State to Virginia Tech. And all the players, the 4 major players that they are bringing over from that team is top 100 players. So, I don't know. It could, but I think more undoubtedly that if by year 2 you should be competing.
Yeah, I think Franklin's going to do some serious damage in the ACC. I just believe.
Me too.
All right. Speaking of Raiola, according to Pete Nakos of On3, in the last 24 hours, Louisville has been in contact with both DJ Lagway of Florida and Dylan Raiola of Nebraska. Miller Moss, the starting quarterback at Louisville, he's done. And we'll see where Louisville goes with the quarterback. But if they want to throw some NIL money out, DJ Lagway, Dylan Raiola could be a possibility. Jeff Brom, really good with quarterbacks. He's a quarterback whisperer. So also DJ Lagway, we talked about this yesterday, Baylor, LSU, Miami is on the list as well. Texas Tech, again, finding this again. No one's saying why Texas Tech is not interested in Raiola, except for, I'm telling you, it's creepy. The way he acts like Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
If I'm Texas Tech, I'm like, that's too weird, man. We don't want him here.
We don't want
doing that. It's bizarre. Sam Levitt, another transfer.
That's an interesting one too, man.
This to me now, and this is not a criticism. It's the world we live in when it comes to college football. Sam Levitt had everything he wanted at Arizona State. He had a heck of a quarterback coach in Kenny Dillingham as the head coach. Arizona State went to the college football playoff last year. This year, they were having a good season until Levitt got hurt.
Yeah.
Then they found a way to keep winning despite having to start injury. Jeff Sims as their starting quarterback. Levitt had a nice situation. To me, and again, not a criticism, this one is, let me go in the portal and let me go find the most money. Who's going to pay me the most money to come quarterback their team?
Miami.
And it might be Miami for Sam Levitt or whatever. Levitt wants to see what market value he has, how much money he can get, where he can land. Look, is Arizona State a blue blood? No. Are there teams that will spend more money than Arizona State? Sure.
Yes.
So Sam Levitt leaving to go get more money, he's going to find more money than what he could get at Arizona State. But I just feel like that's the only reason if you're Sam Levitt, why else do you leave? You're in the college football playoff last year, so check the box on winning. You got a heck of a head coach who is a quarterback developer. Check that box.
Then, too, we don't know if Kenny Dillingham might stay at Arizona State.
That Right now, we're going to find out because his name is being whispered for the Michigan
job, yeah.
But Levitt did this before any of that stuff. Levitt was in the portal before the Dillingham rumors popped up. I think Sam Levitt's just, let's see who's going to offer me the most money to come quarterback him.
But what
Which,
if
again, not a criticism.
Yeah, but if he does take his hat out and Dillingham's gone.
No, he's gone. Levitt's gone. He's not coming back.
Okay.
No, he's not coming back. He's just going to go out there. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's just what he wants to do.
Sam Levitt is leaving because he wants to see who's going to pay Sam Levitt the most money.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he left. He had no reason to leave. Now, if he would have went in the portal once all this Dillingham smoke was going around about Michigan, maybe different.
Yeah.
By the way, it would not surprise me if Kenny Dillingham or Eli Drinkwitz lands at Michigan. Drinkwitz's name is coming up, even though he just signed that extension. That stuff doesn't matter.
Because Michigan can match, or
they'll pay. They'll buy out what they need to buy out, and they pay him more. And look, whenever a coach signs an extension, everybody gets, we're safe now. We got our coach, and no one's ever safe. The coach can leave when a coach wants to leave. Sometimes it's not fair. Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's cowardly. Lane Kiffin. Sometimes you're kind of a quitter. Lane Kiffin. But you can leave, man. It's okay. You can go. I mean, you could sign a contract extension at 4:11 in the afternoon and 4:12 take another job if the other squad is going to pay your buyout to leave. So just because Eli Drinkwitz signed an extension at Missouri this offseason doesn't mean anything. So we'll see where that thing goes. So that's the latest on the transfer portal stuff when it comes to Sam Levitt. Now, Levitt, another one, Indiana, Oregon, Miami, LSU. Because remember, Fernando Mendoza is gone from Indiana.
Yep.
We talked about Oregon a second ago. LSU is going to need a starting quarterback, and so is Miami. So Levitt could end up at any of those spots. Would not be a surprise. So that's the latest on all that. Real quick, the Michigan coaching search, the latest. According to Chris Lowe from On3, Alabama and Kalen DeBoer are having ongoing talks about an extension, but nothing has been agreed upon or signed. Now, again, according to Pete Nakos, sources have told Nakos, 5 names keep coming up. Jeff Brom of Louisville, Arizona State Kenny Dillingham, Missouri's Eli Drinkwitz, Washington's Jed Fish, Charger assistant defensive coordinator or Charger defensive coordinator Jesse Mentor. Kalen DeBoer's name not coming up right now. And that doesn't mean anything, though, by the way. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So that's the names that are bouncing around for the Michigan gig. And look, none of these guys will surprise me if they got the job.
Me neither.
None of them.
No. So, I was thinking about an NFL guy, but if they got names bouncing around in the college football, I mean, by all means.
All right, post-game show. Terry Ford, Jalen Tart punching the buttons up for us. There was a NFL game last night, kind of. To the surprise of no one, the Steelers easily beat the Dolphins.
The Dolphins.
In 19-degree Pittsburgh. We'll get into that next. One thing, and again, I love the next day on all the TV talk shows, the sports talk shows. I always love prisoner of the moment stuff. And we're going to get to that next about last night's game. Post-game show with Terry Ford. Appreciate you hanging out. We go till 6 on the game. Post-game show, Terry Ford. Appreciate you hanging out. Jalen's here punching the buttons. We're going up until 6 here on the game. All right, so last night they had a football game in Pittsburgh. And to the surprise of no one, the Steelers beat the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins are 0 for like 17 million
in the cold.
So no one's surprised what happened last night. To Miami's credit, they were up 3-0 for most of the first half.
And then Pittsburgh scored in that late in the second quarter, and then they just took it to them. Took it to them.
And it was 28-15, but it wasn't that close.
Yeah. Rodgers, I just think with Rodgers in the cold, he's just unstoppable to beat.
Oh, I mean, dude, when you play in Green Bay when it's 20 below in June.
Yeah.
I mean, Rodgers in the cold, it doesn't bother him. He could go out there and play in his underwear in the cold. And Rodgers last night, 23 of 27, 224, a couple touchdowns. He only threw 5 balls over 10 yards.
Yeah. He was mixing it up.
Yeah, that's the formula. Look, the Steelers, I think the Steelers win the AFC North.
Yep.
The Ravens have the Packers and the Patriots and then the Steelers. Steelers are going to win the North. They have the Browns and the Lions and the Ravens. So I think the Steelers win the division. But whether it's the Steelers or the Ravens in the North, neither one's going deep in the playoffs. They're both flawed teams. They're barely over 500 for a reason. But for both these teams, like I'm watching this morning on it was Get Up ESPN. Can the Steelers make a deep run in the playoffs? Oh, let me answer that. No.
And they tell you why.
They just, and I'd say the same thing about the Ravens. They both kind of are in the same spot as they're good franchises. They're not elite championship franchises at this point. Steelers haven't won a playoff game in almost 10 years. Run that through your head real quick.
2016.
And the Ravens, they won the Super Bowl in 2013, 2011, 2013. Yeah. They haven't made it back to a Super Bowl since. They've been to one AFC championship game with Lamar Jackson as their quarterback. Neither one of these franchises are looked at as the best in the AFC. Everybody looks at the Ravens on paper. Oh, Ravens on paper, that's the best roster in the league. Well, that's good because the best roster in the league can't beat the Bills or the Chiefs in the playoffs. And like I said, the Steelers can't beat anybody in the playoffs. They just kind of know who they are. And, every time either one of them, and I get why, because they're good all the time. But neither one, this year especially, are going to make a deep run in the postseason. They're just not.
Right now, the bracket has Pittsburgh as the 4 seed playing the Chargers.
They'll host the Chargers in Pittsburgh.
I don't think the Pittsburgh is winning that.
And let's say they do somehow. They're at home. Again, it's 19 below with the wind chill. The Chargers are freezing to death, and the Steelers win the game.
Then they got to play Denver, who is the number 1 seed.
And that will end Pittsburgh's season. Denver at home will beat Pittsburgh. Unless Bo Nix starts doing dumb stuff and turning the ball over. Because Denver's just a better team.
Yeah.
They're a better defense. They got more. They are better on offense with more weapons. The only thing that's going to hurt Denver is when because Bo Nix tries to make some throws and make some plays he shouldn't try to make.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine in the regular season, but you get in the playoffs and you start trying to do goofy stuff, you know what happens to you? You go home.
Yeah.
Look, Josh Allen early in his career learned about over-the-top goofiness in the postseason.
Yeah. And then, too, as it stands right now, they're going on the road to play Jacksonville. And Jacksonville, they're at a good pace right now to win the AFC South. It's still a 3-team race between Houston and Indy. If Indy got to win out, I think Indy has to win out in order to make the playoffs.
Yeah, look,
but I think it's going to Jacksonville.
If you sit and you look at where this whole thing is at, and the Steelers, like I said, I think they win the AFC North. But they're not better than Denver. They're not better than New England. They're not better than Buffalo. On a neutral field, I think the Chargers are better. Could they beat Jacksonville because Jacksonville doesn't have a ton of experience? Yeah, sure. I think Houston's the better team right now.
So you think Houston could beat New England?
Oh, no, I think Houston can beat Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
In terms of the Steelers,
I'm looking at the Steelers and the rest of the AFC.
Okay.
And I'd say the same thing with the Ravens. I'm a Ravens fan. I don't think the Ravens are any better than Denver, New England, Buffalo, the Chargers, Houston.
I mean, the Ravens were injured throughout. They had injuries plagued throughout the entire season.
Look, Lamar isn't 100%. He's not right. He's not even trying to run the ball. But they weren't. Look, before Lamar got hurt, they were a mess. They've just been a mess all year. And at the end of the day, even in the postseason the last so many years, Lamar's been an MVP, this, that, or the other. They find ways to lose. You know, we always talk about these teams, man, they're so good, they always find a way to win in the playoffs. Where's the Ravens? Man, they're so good, but they always find a way to lose in the playoffs. So, I mean, I just look at the Steelers and Ravens as good organizations. Neither one is a championship contender at this point. And moving forward, unless some changes are made, they're not going to be championship contenders.
Yeah.
And look, and I'll say this, I think both franchises have a formula for success. And I give them props because their formula has led them to a lot of trips to the playoffs and a lot of winning seasons. But at some point, you got to take a step back and say, okay, we've reached a certain point like this. What do we have to do to get back to winning a championship? And neither franchise seems to want to take that chance. They've almost fell into the safety, that safe haven of being comfortable.
Yeah.
Of who they are. Like, I know, and it's not going to work because Parsons got hurt. But I give the Packers a ton of credit because the Packers are just like the Ravens and the Steelers.
Yeah.
The Packers have a formula. They have a system. They have a process. And it's worked because the Packers make the playoffs year in and year out. They win divisions. They have winning records, whatever. But they can't get over the hump. That's another team. Hasn't been back to a Super Bowl
since 2013.
2010, I think, is when they beat the Steelers. Or 2011.
With Rodgers, right? Yeah.
So it's been a long time since the Packers have been back to a Super Bowl. So at some point, you take a step back and say, look, we're not going to crater what we do well, but we've got to go out of our lane and do something different. And the Packers did. They did something that was totally not Green Bay Packer, man. They traded a boatload of draft picks for Micah Parsons. And up until Sunday, when Parsons left his ACL laying on the field.
That was they were competing with Dent. They were really competing.
To me, the Packers were a Super Bowl contender.
Now, right now, they have them going to Chicago to play the Bears.
And you lose Parsons. I mean, you have other pass rushers. Your defense has got guys. But you lost the dude that made your defense a nightmare.
Yeah.
And before that injury, though, the Packers, you didn't want to play them in the playoffs. So I give the Packers a ton of props for going out of their lane and going for it and saying, how do we get over this glass ceiling we now have? You know what we're going to do? To bleep with it. Let's go get Parsons. Screw it. Let's get out of our comfortable lane and let's go for it. And that's what we're going to do now.
And we thought that they would never pull off a move like that because in the draft, they don't draft well in the NFL draft historically.
Well, the Packers are a team that, again, they have a process. And they just, every year they do the same thing. And this time they went, you know what, we're going to take a chance. We're going to trade a bunch of draft capital, something we don't typically do, and we're going to go for it. And we're going to try to go and get ourselves over the hump and get to a Super Bowl. And they went to get the guy. I give them props for doing it, even though Parsons got hurt.
Yeah.
I still think that was the right move. Because at some point, if you're all about championships, right? And that's what Green Bay says and Baltimore says and Pittsburgh says. You three combined haven't won one in over a decade. So if you're all about championships, all three of you are failing miserably. The Packers said, you know what? How do we get over the hump? And they went for it.
And they're going to be in contention for years to come, despite Parsons being hurt now.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
And so I still think what the Packers did was what you got to do at some point. Ravens and Steelers are just kind of stuck in that lane.
Yeah.
Of, hey, we're good. Well, if that's all you want to be, that's fine. But again, if you measure yourself by championships, you got to go do better. Postgame show, Terry Ford, Tyler Head. College football playoff stuff we have not talked about much. Get some sound from Kalen DeBoer. and some others involved in the college football playoff next on the postgame show. Our first check on traffic. See what's going on with the roads. A few accidents already. Blythewood Road at US 321 in Richland, also in Lexington, Highway 302 at Highway 6, and in Columbia, I-26 westbound at I-20 exit 107B. An accident has been cleared. I-20 westbound after Bush River Road at exit 63. Get some college football talk from the coaches who will be participating. That's next here on the Postgame Show. Terry Ford, Jalen Tard hanging out with you till 6 on the game. Post-game show as we go till 6. Jay will be back tomorrow. Jalen's here, punching the buttons. Terry Ford, thanks for putting up with us as we roll till 6 on the game again tonight. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip, South Carolina, Clemson. From the upstate, Gamecocks, they're going to have to deal with some serious size inside that Clemson has. That's been an issue for South Carolina, dealing on both ends of the court with interior play, protecting the paint on defense, scoring on the interior consistently on offense. And the thing is, against South Carolina, a good two-point shooting team, they take a ton of looks from three. To me, for South Carolina tonight, make your threes, but also attack because you're a good two-point shooting squad. So don't be afraid to, even though Clemson is big on the inside, don't be afraid to go at them. And defensively, you got to rebound. Clemson's a good offensive rebounding team. And, defensively, you've got to be able to handle Clemson inside the three-point line. They don't shoot a lot of threes. So that's tonight again, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip. All right, Jalen, get ready here. All right, college football playoff. Texas A&M and Miami this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the most interesting game. Mike Elko, head coach of A&M, this is cut 3, Jalen, talking about how much talent the Hurricanes have.
Yeah, talent, extremely talented, very athletic. Defensively, they're very long. They've got a lot of players that can run and hit. They're very good on the front. And then offensively, just a very explosive group of skilled athletes that can make a lot of plays in space.
Man, Miami's got dudes, man. I mean, make no mistake. They've got some guys that can do some damage, both sides of the ball. Defensively, Miami's really good.
Yeah.
Offensively, you look at Carson Beck's season. Carson Beck, you ready for this stat? The stat's just sickening. Carson Beck, in 387 dropbacks, has been pressured on only 14.7% of those dropbacks. That is vile. Now, again, Beck under pressure, not great. Only 51% completion percentage, 3 interceptions, 5 turnover-worthy plays. But good luck trying to get pressure on Carson Beck.
Because he's going to get the ball out.
They're getting the ball out. The offensive line is solid. They're not putting him in position to get sacked and hit and hurried. This year, Beck has thrown about 65%. Let's see, 39, 49, 59, 60. About 65% of his throws are under 10 yards. Beck this year has been getting rid of the ball 2.35 seconds, Jalen.
But do we trust Miami on the road?
No. Is their head coach still Mario Cristobal? Of course I don't trust Miami. Mario Cristobal, I am firmly confident that at some point in this game, Mario Cristobal is going to do something that is not going to be the right thing to do, and he's going to cost his team. Mario Cristobal is a hell of a recruiter. He is. And he's a good football coach. But when it comes to that game managing thing, Mario Cristobal has trouble. And I think I'll take Mike Elko over Mario Cristobal in a coaching octagon match any day.
And that's a noon kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really going to set the tone of what the playoff would be.
Yeah. I like A&M.
I think A&M will edge out Miami. I think it will be similar to what we saw to the Notre Dame game.
I mean, look, again, Miami's they got dudes who'll be in the NFL.
Yeah.
They got
some talent.
They got some serious talent. I mean, when you look at Reuben Bain is filthy.
Yeah.
This year, 58 pressures, 7 sacks, pass rushing grade of 92.
And they got A&M favored by 3.5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I think A&M will win.
I think they're going to win. I personally think A&M will win. If they don't get in a hole at home, we've seen this before against Carolina where they got in a hole and they had to crawl all the way back. This is the playoff. This is a different beast, and it's at your home turf. So we'll see. It's going to be some nerves, but I think when teams start to settle in and figure out the game plan as the game goes along, they'll do just fine. But I think A&M will pull it out.
Yeah, I think A&M's just better. And again, I have more confidence in Mike Elko and his coaching staff against Mario Cristobal and his. I think that's going to be a big deal. Mike Elko he's showing a fine quality coach. And Cristobal, when it comes to putting the headset on and coaching the actual game, Cristobal does stuff that does not help his team.
Yeah, Mohamed Toure for Miami, 54 tackles, leading the team in tackles. Jacoby Thomas leads the team in interceptions with 4. I mean, they're stacked defensively, and that's how I looked at Miami the whole season, is that they're just very, very good defensively, and their offense just has not really played a perfect game as of yet.
Their offense has had some good moments and then disappears.
Yeah.
But I think A&M is just the better football team.
I agree.
They can beat you running it. They can beat you throwing it defensively. I mean, they're the best third down defense in the country. I think A&M wins.
Yeah, then if they win, you go on the road to play Ohio State. That will be very interesting as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ohio State, I've said this all year. I get it. Ohio State's got a roster filled with pros. Understand. They really only won one game this year to show you anything, and that was beating Texas in Columbus.
Yeah.
Then they took on Indiana in the Big Ten championship game and got beat. Yes, Ohio State has a ton of players. I just don't know how good they are. I don't. Could A&M beat Ohio State? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would not surprise me at all. All right, let's get another cut here real quick. Pete Golding, who is the new head coach at Ole Miss, his first game, by the way, he's coaching is in the college football playoff. Cut 2, Jalen, Pete Golding has reality set in that he's actually a head coach now.
That's with no, I really don't plan to. I think, we owe this to the team, to the fans, to the university, to have blinders on right now. I know what it takes to win football games. I know what it takes to be successful in defense, and it's hard work, and you got to do it better than anybody else, and you got to be willing to do things that they're not. I think when you start getting caught up in moments and start taking pictures and do all that, your focus is on the wrong thing. And so for this is something hopefully whenever that last game is and we put it, forth our best effort, whatever the result of that is, then you'll have some time to sit back and kind of look back on it and be able to evaluate it. Did you do it the right way? Could we do it better and all that? But right now, I'm not trying to enjoy anything. I'm trying to prepare extremely hard and get a good plan in place for these players and hold them accountable to practice the right way and prepare the right way to give them themselves the best chance. So that would be at a later time. I'll let my kids do that.
Pete Golding,
that's a smart man.
He seems like a good dude. He looks like one of the buddies I used to have that we used to go play bar golf in downtown Baltimore. That's what he looks like. He looks like that buddy, he's got the sweats with the stains all over it, hadn't brushed his hair in 2 or 3 days.
But it's very serious when he means business.
It is going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out for Ole Miss with Pete Golding. But again, Ole Miss in the playoff.
I don't know,
so.
man. I've been hearing more and more about Ole Miss could potentially lose against Tulane.
No, they're not going to.
But I'm like, I'm not too sold on that.
Nope.
I don't know.
I think Tulane will make it closer than when they lost by 30 points to them earlier this year.
Yeah.
I still think Ole Miss wins.
Okay.
All right. Post-game show, Terry Ford, appreciate you hanging out. We will get back into our conversation about South Carolina Clemson. That is next here on The Game. We can't do any Jay or Nay. We don't have Jay. So no Jay or Nay. That's okay, though.
But you have Jalen.
Jalen or Nay? That just doesn't have Jalen or Nay?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm not going to replace the legend, Jay Phillips.
Jay will be back tomorrow with us today, getting some treatment in Raleigh. Jay will be back tomorrow. All right. So, before I got to get to South Carolina. We teased it. Gamecocks, Tigers in the upstate tonight. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip here on 107.5 The Game in Columbia. And our sister station, 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach, our affiliate there. You know, South Carolina offensively, like I said, there are pieces there for South Carolina that you could get good offensive efforts out of. If Michi's good, Michi, if Charvjamps can maybe get a little bit more aggressive. Again, if you look at the numbers, Michi is hitting 37% of his threes. That's above average, but very streaky. But if you get Michi locked in and bring it offensively, that's a key to winning. And Charvjamps, if he can be a little bit more aggressive, he's shooting 52% from the floor. Scoring 11.6 a game, that's second on the team. But field goals attempted, he's fourth. Eli Ellis has taken more field goal attempts than Charvjamps. So is Elijah Strong. I like Elijah Strong as long as he's not behind the three-point line. He does some nice work inside the paint. He gives him a little bit of a presence inside the three-point line to Strong.
Then he shoots flat-footed as well, so like behind the arc. So
he just likes shooting threes, man.
Yeah.
He's taken 78 shots this year, 35 of them from three. That's just too many shots from three. Not saying you can't do it. Nobody's going to tase you if you do it, but that's too many shots from three for a guy shooting 25% from behind the arc. And Eli Ellis, here's an interesting stat on Eli Ellis. If you watch that or listen to that exhibition game against NC State, Ellis was cranking threes. This year, Ellis is only shooting so far 23% from three-point range. So he has struggled from there, but I like what I've seen overall from Eli Ellis on the offensive end of the court. And he's got to grow and get better and develop and all that stuff, but I like what I see early.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, he's going to potentially get better as the season keeps going.
I mean, Graham Polk had a rough night from three against Citadel, but Polk is hitting 44% of his threes. There are pieces on this basketball team. If they can get more consistent offensively, it'll help them be, well, they've been competitive in games, but maybe it gets them over the hump. Because defense is not going to be their friend. It's just not. I'm not saying they're not trying. I just think defensively they're going to have issues all year. But anyway, so that's tonight, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip. Keys to the win, obviously, keep Clemson off the offensive backboard. Be able to defend inside the three-point line. And offensively, you take a lot of threes, you got to make some. That's the way it is. So, I just heard the TJ Finley story, and I'd read a little bit about it. Our guy's trying to, get the okay to transfer for a seventh time?
Why are you going to 7 schools to play football?
I guess I look at it like he knows he's not going to play in the NFL. He's trying to milk this college thing for all it's worth. I guess. He is going to try to transfer for the 7th time. Ready? He's played for LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Western Kentucky, Georgia State.
That's 5 teams?
I think that's 6 or 5.
That's 5.
3, 4. It's 5 teams.
Yeah.
So he's looking for his 6th team. What is TJ Finley, like 40 years old?
He's 23.
Is he older than David? Is he older than Phillip Rivers?
No. He was born on March the 25th, 2002.
TJ Finley is applying for a 7th year due to a season-ending injury that shut down his season in 2024. My man's going for year 7. Why not? Why not?
For something that happened 2 years ago.
Now, do I think this is asinine? Yes. I absolutely think it's crazy you can get 7 years of eligibility.
Yeah.
I do. But hey.
And COVID was 5 years ago.
You know what? If they're going to let you do it, keep trying until they tell you no, right?
Right.
But do I think this is silly? Yes.
Yes. I agree.
Yes. So anyway, TJ Finley, looking for year 7. All right, 5 o'clock news come next, sponsored by our Buds Integrated Media. That is next here on the postgame show. Terry Ford, Jalen Tart, we go till 6 on the game. I'm sorry, I just think experience is important when you're getting things done that matter to you. You want people doing work for you that know what the hell they're doing. And if you want improvements in your home like new appliances, stuff to upgrade the kitchen, the bathroom, maybe put in a tub, lighting, fixture, plumbing, you want experienced people doing the work. You don't want to go turn on your water and all of a sudden water's shooting out of every room in your house. You need people to know what's up. That's why you call Kreger Showrooms, formerly The Nest, 1331 Gadsden in the Vista, 803-978-2025. You call, make an appointment. You'll talk to an expert. They have 100 years of experience at Kreger Showrooms. You go in, let them know your budget and your goals, walk around the best showroom ever, make a deal, make yourself happy. 803-978-2025, Kreger Showrooms on Gadsden in the Vista. All right, let's check the traffic. We got some accidents. In Casey, Charleston Highway, south of Fink Street. In Columbia, I-26 westbound at I-20, exit 107B. And we got construction. I-126 between Hugie and I-26. Also I-26 between Bush River Road and Old Sandy Run Road. And I-20 between I-26 on exit 64 and 65 Broad River Road. Come back at the 5 o'clock news cooking for you. Sponsored by our buds at Integrated Media. And do not forget, Carolina Calls tomorrow night, or Thursday night, I should say, at 7 o'clock with Lamont Paris and Derek Scott right here on the game in Columbia and Myrtle Beach. Time to get to the 5 o'clock news here on the postgame show. Terry Ford and Jalen Tart hanging up till 6. All right, obviously, yesterday we talked about the unfortunate passing of Steve Tannehill and at the age of 52. And Dabo Swinney, Clemson head coach, did share a story about Tannehill, and that's going to be cut 5, Jalen. Dabo Swinney talking about the former Gamecock quarterback. Hit it.
And we're all out there practicing in the indoor there in Tuscaloosa, and it was like December, kind of this time. You could take business in December. And here comes this guy, walks in, and we're playing for Gene Stallings. And, we all know Gene Stallings as players. And he shows up, we got the recruiting guy with him, and he had that long hair. He had that long hair and all that swag, and we all were in there going, oh, yeah, we ain't getting him. We knew right there, yeah, we ain't getting him. And and sure enough, we didn't. And he goes to South Carolina.
Yeah, because, again, Gene Stallings, you want to talk about old school dude? Yeah, Gene Stallings he wasn't going to be dealing with, long hair and swag. Just not happening. And, obviously, Tannehill lands in South Carolina and has a hell of a career. There's Dabo Swinney sharing a story about Tannehill. All right, Michigan, obviously looking for a head coach. There's a lot of talk. We got into it last hour. Would it be Eli Drinkwitz from Missouri? Could it be Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State? Jed Fish at Washington? I mean, he changes jobs every couple years. Why not? First of all, Biff Poggi, who is the interim head coach. Poggi was also the head coach a couple games during the season when Sharon Moore was dealing with his suspension. Poggi talks about how the kids at Michigan feel after this whole episode and ordeal with their head coach. Cut 6, Joe.
It has been a tumultuous time. A lot of, anger, and then first disbelief, then anger, then really what we're in right now is the phase of the kids, quite frankly, feel very betrayed, and we're trying to work through that.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I say this all the time. I say we as fans, we forget when we're always saying, well, kids this and kids that, and they do this and they do that, and why are they like this and why are they like that? Kids a lot of times follow the lead of, I don't know, grown-ups, quote-unquote mentors, quote-unquote authority figures. And when you're watching people who are supposed to be leaders doing things that aren't very leaderly, I just made up that word, then, again, where do you think young people get their ideas at times? I said this the other day, look, I'm not the morality police, man. Trust me, I'm not. Believe me. But when you take certain jobs, you have to understand that with those certain jobs comes a higher level of moral decision-making than other jobs. This is the way it is. And if you can't deal with that, fine, that's cool, that's you, but you just can't take the job. Because you're going to most likely lose the job because you're going to do something that is going to break your contract in some way, shape, or form. Sharon Moore had a moral clause in his deal. Michigan could fire him with cause. Again, if you want to make a decision to do what you do, man, and get your freak on, that's fine. But you're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
That's just the way this goes. And if you got that going on in you, again, that's fine. I'm not judging you. But you can't be the head coach of a college football team where your job is to lead young men.
And they are a blue blood collared team. And fans is not having that. They're not going to want that.
Well, fans only want fans want it if you're winning. Jim Harbaugh wasn't doing what Sharon Moore was doing, but Jim Harbaugh looked at the NCAA and flipped them the bird for years. But as long as you're winning, your fan base will go, they'll just make up reasons that you're doing stuff. They'll take up for you if you're winning. Sherrone Moore, not Jim Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? Not that level of coach. So if you're Sherrone Moore doing what you're doing, to your point, you're not getting the backup of the fan base. Because you're not Jim Harbaugh.
And it was done in the dark.
Well,
so it's like when you're doing the dark, it's going to potentially come back into the light and haunt you. And
in this
that's what
world
it did.
today, especially, nothing is a secret.
Yeah.
Nothing. Good luck. Hey, the down low is dead. Let's just put it that way. And so, again, you got a football team whose head coach, you got to sit there as a football player at Michigan and deal with the fallout of your head coach who, well, you've seen the stories.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you got to answer questions from the media. You're dealing with questions from your friends, your family, your bud in the weight room, people. This is what you got to deal with now. And again, when the people in charge are supposed to be leading and mentoring can't control themselves, well, I put that in a nice way, didn't I? Which, again...
Yeah, you did.
Once you take that job, you can't do that.
Right.
You just can't. And if you want to do that, look, I got buddies of mine who are sitting in their 50s, and they want to chase 25-year-old girls. Fine, man, go for it. Go to town. 23, 21, they're legal. Do your thing. Some people think it's cool. Some will think it's creepy. Whatever, right? But you can't be the head coach of the football team.
Doing that.
You can't do that. You just can't. And so that's the thing that gets me all the time. And then when we talk about, well, these college football players are doing this and that, and there's no loyalty, and no this or that, and they're dead. Hell, the people in charge can't even control themselves half the time. Look what they're doing. And they're supposed to be the role models. So back to the Michigan gig. If you ask me what I think, certain names just keep coming up. I'll tell you this now. If Alabama loses this Saturday, it's going to get interesting. It really is.
I mean, it is hard to beat a team twice, but...
And Oklahoma's not great. They got a hell of a defense, but their offense is So Alabama, to me, that game...
that could go either way.
Yeah,
it could go either way.
It could. Right now, Oklahoma's playing better than Alabama, but again, Oklahoma's defense is excellent, but their offense is nothing special. If Alabama can play the way they did, 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, good
luck. They can win the game.
Yeah.
But if they can't, if they lose the game, things are going to be interesting. Speaking of Kalen DeBoer, let's get cut one in here real quick. Here is Kalen DeBoer being asked if he'll coach the Crimson Tide next year.
Man, come on, Nick. All right, I put a statement out yesterday because first of all, our guys handle distractions phenomenally. It's been that way all season long. They continue to do that. And so, but I also, knew that yesterday and today was pretty important. I wasn't going to see until today to address it. So that's why I put that out there. A lot of the same things I said before, a couple weeks ago when asked really the same question. Just, feel completely supported. My family loves living here. Just all the things that we continue to build on. Love the progress. Haven't talked with anyone. No plans of talking with anyone. So I think that's a lot of what I said a couple weeks ago, and it continues to be the same thing. Feel strong about it. And our guys, if there's been any distraction, I haven't seen it, haven't felt it. And so I'm really proud of the way they've handled whatever noise is out there. And again, we've probably all season long have dealt with enough noise to where it doesn't surprise me on how they handle this.
All right, first of all let's play Kalen DeBoer for a minute. Hey, Kalen. Yes, media man. Your name's out there for the Michigan job. Can you give us a comment? Sure. I want to get the heck out of Tuscaloosa. I'm so sick of hearing about Nick Saban. Nick this, Nick that, the GOAT, the dead. Tired of hearing about it. He's got an office right down the hall from me. Sick of Nick Saban. Sick of the GOAT. Sick of hearing how wonderful he is. Tired of it. Sick of living in Alabama. Sick of all of it. I can't wait to get out of here. Yes, I'm interested in the Michigan job. You think he's going to say that? No. He's going to say he loves it in Tuscaloosa. He loves the team. He loves the players. He loves the community. He loves everything. He loves everybody. He loves the Waffle House. He loves everything. So, of course, Kalen DeBoer is going to deny any of it. But I just think where there's smoke, there's smoke. And I'm not saying Kalen DeBoer is going to leave for the Michigan gig. I do say it will get interesting if Alabama loses this weekend and their season is over. Then we'll just sit back, grab some popcorn, put our feet up, watch the show. But I don't think it's going to be DeBoer, even though, his name popped up for the Penn State job. Now it's hit for the, Michigan gig.
I don't see him leaving. Who would get that job?
See, that's when it gets even more fun because if Kalen DeBoer leaves Tuscaloosa to go take the Michigan job, then guess which gig is open?
Alabama. And then it could go. We can
Then
go
the
deep.
fun
We can
really
go.
starts.
Okay, so look, we could take this a step further. Does Dan Lanning go back into the conversation?
Maybe, because it's Alabama. Oh, you know what would be funny, and this won't happen. But, oh my God, this would serve LSU right. Has Lane Kiffin signed his contract yet?
No.
How funny would it be? LSU did all that work to get Lane Kiffin out of Oxford, Mississippi, and then Lane Kiffin does to them what he just did to Ole Miss.
Yeah, that would be unprecedented. We would have never seen anything like that before.
Here's the thing though, with Lane Kiffin, he just turned his back on a playoff team.
Yeah,
he has quit on a playoff team. Lane Kiffin has shown you he truly only cares about Lane Kiffin. So if Alabama came a calling where he was an assistant, just saying. All right, 5 o'clock news sponsored by Integrated Media here on the game. All right, let's see what else we want to get in here. All right, let's grab one more here. Brent Venables, as again Oklahoma takes on Alabama this weekend. Here's Brent Venables, cut 4, the Oklahoma head coach, on his mindset entering the college football playoff.
All right, people are feeling pretty good right now. I got to crank it up, and making sure people aren't satisfied with making it to the playoffs. We had a bye week, so now the first day coming back, hey man, when game plan's already done, no, it ain't. And so having a pulse, for that, times again, you got to make people uncomfortable. Some people may not like it. And my job is just to help make them better and get them to do what we need them to do so we can be successful. And it's all centered on helping the players and what's best for them. But I'm no more demanding of anybody else. Not like I'm making people stay up here and guard their desk. That's not my style at all. But when we're here, man, it's 10 and 10 on the treadmill. Let's go get it.
He sounds confident.
It's 10 and 10 on the treadmill, baby.
Yeah, he sounds fired up right there.
10 on 10 on the treadmill. That's right.
I don't know, man. That's going to be that is an interesting game.
I mean, again, you can see it go either way. I mean, look, Alabama's defense is good. It's not as good as Oklahoma's. Oklahoma's offense isn't as good as Bama's. Because Alabama wants to play their offense. Oklahoma wants to play their defense. And a lot of times when this happens, when the two, the super sides of the ball are going to face off, the easy thing to say is, well, whichever one of those two wins the battle wins the game. Sometimes it's the reverse. Who wins between the Oklahoma offense and the Alabama defense?
And that's the only Friday game.
I mean, Alabama's got a good D. Oklahoma's offense hasn't been the same since Mateer got hurt.
Yeah. Alabama's spread is 1.5.
Yeah, it's going to be really tight. Really tight. Sitting here now, Oklahoma's playing better. I think Alabama's got more talent. Oh, you know what the heck? I'll take Alabama in a toss-up.
I'll take Oklahoma in a toss-up.
Yeah.
I'll take
DeBoer has coached very well in the playoffs in his career. So just because of that, but either team could win. All right, Gamecock Notebook is next here on the Game in the Game Network.
Eric Bieniemy as a coaching candidate again?
Are you serious? No.
That is dumbass.
Look at that. Jesus God. Seriously? All right. In case you missed it earlier on the halftime show with Bill and Tyler, Dave Bartu does really good analytic work on college football, especially when it comes to coaches, head coaches, assistants, coordinators. Bartu on the show earlier today gave his thoughts from the analytic angle on these new hires by Shane Beamer with the coaching staff, the OC Kendall Briles and the assistants, Randy Clements and the O-line, and, of course, Stan Drayton, the running backs coach. Here is that interview earlier today on the halftime show with Dave Bartu. Hit it.
12:34 on a Tuesday, and joined now by our good buddy, our analytics guru, Dave Bartu with CFB Matrix, and now a brand new item that you have on the menu, Matrix Analytics, to which you have partnered with the Garnet Trust and have already gotten some good results. Dave, give us what, number one, welcome in. Merry Christmas, and give us a little background on Matrix Analytics and what this is exactly used for.
Oh, yeah, well, it actually originated in the NFL. We designed this for the NFL draft to be able to target upside on players in athleticism at any position. Then we worked with MIT, Michigan State, Johns Hopkins, Purdue, and we modified it for high school and middle school. And then with Johns Hopkins growth charts, we modified it for boys and girls. And the reason I say boys and girls is our first CAT testing in our partnership with the Garnett Trust, because the Garnett Trust is basically subsidizing free testing throughout the entire state of South Carolina, all athletes, boys, girls. And so we just had 121 different softball players run through the CAT testing last week. And what we're trying to look for everybody listening is we are looking for a certain level of foundational athleticism, because what we've discovered is depending on the level of play. So like if you want to play softball at South Carolina, you want to play football at South Carolina, your score and your projected frame, your stature needs to be at a certain level. Anything below that, you're really unlikely to make the roster, regardless of your skill level. And so what's really cool is our line in the sand right now is a 75 or better. So we had 121 softball girls go through the entire CAT process, and there were two. There was a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old over a 75. These are really super elite athletes. And one of the cool things about that is now we've identified girls in the state. We want to identify all the boys in the state. One of the goals of this program is to identify all the great athletes in the state of South Carolina so none of them ever leave, right? Have the opportunity to find them and not miss on anything in the state of South Carolina again. That is one of the big goals of this whole project.
Dave, appreciate you taking your time as always, man. Again, I know you've talked about it before. How long of a process has it been to get to this point, to be able to figure out how to do these things, create algorithms, all that kind of stuff, to have a service like this that is available to a place like South Carolina?
Well, it took us almost all. One of the cool things is we're actually NCAA approved. We've gone through the NCAA compliance all year, so anybody can now sign up with us because we passed compliance. We are the only analytical advanced player ID system that is approved by the NCAA, but it's taken us about 3.5 years, all year getting approval, and then about 2.5 years before that, we tested it in the NFL, we figured it out, and then it took another probably 2 years to be able to adjust it for all ages and both boys and girls. But it has been, we've tested almost 20,000 kids already this year across the country, including Canada. And the results have just been incredible, what we've been able to produce already.
He is Dave Bartu, and obviously his Twitter account and his company, CFB College Football Matrix, is where you can go and check that out. A lot of great stuff, but you hear what he's talking about. How did you start to partner with South Carolina on this? How did that come about? You mentioned any other schools are available to do it, so I know South Carolina's not going to be the only one, but how did South Carolina get involved? Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? How did South Carolina get the jump on this?
They actually reached out to me. See, I've been on all sorts of shows all over the country, right? And usually when I go on the shows, one of the things I've always done is I've always put my cell phone out there for anybody to get a hold of me. And I mean, I've had presidents of universities, athletic directors, head coaches, assistant coaches, and so forth. When I put that number out, well, one of Garnett Trust's members, Chris, heard me talking about this concept 2 years ago. And he's like, gosh, and he's been in South Carolina his whole life. And so he was like, I really want to try to focus on finding and keeping more South Carolina kids. And this is exactly what I want to do. So he introduced me and our group to the trust. And I said, okay, this is how we're going to put this together. And work together on finding these athletes in the state. And so it was actually a listener, right, that got it going. I was out for a week this last summer, meeting everybody, talking to coaches, talking to all sorts of people, did a little tour of South Carolina. Went to a couple places around the state, and so it is. I'm just really excited about what this is going to do for not just South Carolina athletics. I'm talking about the whole state, right? You know, whether it's Furman or South Carolina State or Coastal or Presbyterian, all these kids can test statewide, and it's going to raise the overall focus of full body athleticism, I think, in the state and all the sports across it.
Dave, let's talk about your coach ratings index. This is something we've talked about before, and last week you guys tweeted out from the Matrix Analytical account about how much higher South Carolina rose with their 3 new additions of Kendall Browse, Stan Drayton, and Randy Clements. And as we've talked about, your coaches are only as good as their assistants sometimes, and what Coach Beamer did with those hires certainly increased his rating, or Carolina's rating at least, in y'all's analytics.
Yes, our coach rating index. So just for everybody listening, we have every coach in FBS, 15,000 plus guys in our system that we've graded side by side with each other. So with South Carolina right now, I believe it is still the biggest overall offensive staffing upgrade in the country so far this year. Okay. What was upgraded? Because you got 3 guys, right? You got an offensive coordinator in Briles, Clements at offensive line, and Drayton as a running back coach. All 3 of these guys are top 20th percentile at their position in the last 15 years. Okay, so every single one of these guys has produced way, way above your average unit coach or your offensive coordinator. And what's really cool is when this was all coming together, one of the things that we were focusing on is, do each of these guys bring something to help the South Carolina offense, right? So, you know, one of the charts that I had given in the executive reviews on this was breaking down the weaknesses of the offense and how these guys, their careers help it. So when you look at South Carolina offense, their pass game efficiency and their momentum grade was extremely low. Well, the guy that is really, really good at that nationwide is Briles. So Briles is helping 2 things: line yards. Clements and Drayton are both great at line yards and stuff rate improvement. Rush success rate, that's Drayton, right? So you look at all these different elements that make up a really good offense. Each of these guys is a synergy with each other in their strengths and weaknesses to hopefully overall improve the offense faster than you would expect.
Real quick, we got about a minute and a half left with you.
Okay.
Your take on the Kendall Browse offense against what Shane Beamer, what Kendall Browse has done to be as successful as you just mentioned, against what Shane Beamer has kind of leaned to with Mike Shula, with Dow Loggins, and even with Marcus Satterfield.
Well, let's just toss out Marcus Satterfield because he hasn't been good anywhere. So that doesn't count. And
unnecessary shot at Marcus Satterfield, who's catching strays, but okay.
Right. Well, so here, why Briles fits the South Carolina profile, okay? You got a struggling overall scoring efficiency unit. Okay, his first year at Florida Atlantic, moved Florida Atlantic with Lane from 75 to number 7 in total offensive points per attempt. Florida State, 113th to 64. Arkansas, 49th to 29th. So his offense is incredibly portable, and his impact in year 1 is substantial at every single place. I know South Carolina's offense is the bottom of the bucket right now, but we expect a really big impact there. His strength is pass game. South Carolina went from 29 to 110 in passing efficiency, 24 to 25. Briles' career strength is passing efficiency. His average career is number 30. So what you saw on the field passing in 2024, that's an average Briles passing year. Wrap your brain around that. That's
Dave
how
Bartow.
exciting
You turn that down
this
there,
really is. So
yeah,
I think Briles really helps try to bring back what you saw in 2024 with what he's done for his entire career.
All right, we can take Dave Bartow telling us analytically these hires are a really good fit.
All right, people are feeling pretty good right now. I got to kind of
is next here on the Postgame Show. Let's check that game traffic. Got a couple left in us. What the heck? See what's going on traffic-wise. A couple accidents still. Charleston Highway and Old Dunbar Road in Columbia. Also Charleston Highway in Casey. That's south of Fink Street. Stay away from Charleston Highway. I-26 westbound at South Carolina 36. We have an accident there. Also, I-26 westbound after Piney Grove Road, exit 104. Stop and go traffic, I-20 westbound between Monticello Road and Bush River Road, and I-26 westbound between Sunset Boulevard and St. Andrews Road. Drive around the SEC is next on the postgame show on the game. Okay. Texas coach Steve Sarkisian still whining about the schedule. Sark says that the Longhorns will honor their return non-conference games with Ohio State in 2026 and Michigan in 2027, but would reconsider its non-conference scheduling philosophy beyond that based on the college football playoff selection criteria. Here's my deal. Do I get Sark? To a point, yeah. If you look around and see these schools with weak strength of schedules and they're getting into the college football playoff, that bugs you if your strength of schedule is a lot tougher, right? I get it. But again, playing and losing in Columbus, Ohio did not keep you out of the college football playoff. Losing to a bad Florida team kept you out of the college football playoff. So how about winning the games you're favored to win? Because if you'd have won the Florida game, you're in. It's that simple. But you got beat by Florida in Gainesville. Yep. By the way, a bad Florida team. And that knocked you out. If you win that game, handle your business as the favored football squad, you're in.
Yeah.
Because you've been 10-2.
And Miami would have been out.
Yep, boom. Texas is in. So don't blame your non-conference schedule. How about, I don't know, find a mirror, look in it, that's who to blame. Not your schedule. But I do understand. Would I get frustrated if I got this tough schedule and some team who's, I mean, again, look, no offense, but we see Indiana's non-conference schedule was,
yeah.
But to their credit, the games that were big, they won. We'll give them credit, but their non-conference schedule was terrible. We see that. And if you're scheduling tougher and you're not getting any kind of reward for scheduling tougher in your mind, then why should you schedule tougher? I get it, but that's not why you missed the playoffs if you're Texas. Speaking of Texas, Arch Manning is coming back. He will come back for his second season as a starter. Remember this. Remember when old Grandpa Archie said earlier in the year that Arch would be back?
He was right.
And everybody was like, ooh, wait, blah, 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 blah. Guess who was right?
Archie.
Gramps. Gramps, you know, Gramps might know something about something. Just saying.
And he's played in the SEC. Well, all the Mannings have played in the SEC.
Yep.
I mean, I personally see Arch Manning as a 3 to 4 year starter in the SEC.
I mean, look, Arch needs more seasoning.
Yep.
It's okay. And really, look, if you, we talk about this all the time. The two biggest buckets of failure for a college quarterback going to the NFL, lack of starts / lack of experience, B, lack of accuracy. If you're in one of those two buckets, it's very difficult to succeed on the pro level. Are there outliers? Yes. But they're rare, especially the experience part.
Yep.
And if Arch comes back and starts next year, he will have 20-some starts under his belt, that's a good amount of experience.
Mm-hmm. And then throughout the season this year, he's slowly gotten a lot better.
He did.
So for him to have now that he has a full off season to work with.
Yeah, and look, once Arch wasn't the greatest phenom in the history of college football and everybody looked at him as a lifetime bust, started to play better. Sark changed the offense a little bit, shorter, quicker throws, getting the ball out of his hands faster, and all of a sudden, the numbers came up.
Mm-hmm.
After a very start against Kentucky, where Texas won in overtime, 16-13, Arch kind of got on a heater. Threw for 346 and 3 touchdowns against Mississippi State. Threw for 328 and 3 touchdowns in that win over Vandy. Even though they lost to Georgia, 27-43, 251, did have a pick.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas, 18-30, 389, 4 touchdowns against that bad Razorback defense. In the win over A&M, look, he wasn't anything special. Completed less than half his throws for 179 yards. Did throw a touchdown, but did not turn the ball over in that game.
Yeah, the A&M game to me was his best he's looked.
I tell you, man, he has, to your point, in the quiet, has gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what he is next year with another year of experience, another year in the system. Sark molding the system around Manning. We'll see what Arch does next year. But it's so us in the world today. Arch is already a bust, right?
Mm-hmm.
According to the world, right? Arch was a bust. Arch got his chance early in the year when he was looked at as the first pick in the draft and the Heisman Trophy winner and the greatest quarterback in the history of quarterbacking. He didn't play well, and everybody went, he sucks. Well, guess what? He stopped sucking as the year went on.
Yeah.
He got better. Am I saying he was great? No, but he got better almost every week, to his credit. So Arch Manning will be back next year, which is a smart move by Arch. All right, also in college football, West Virginia, my bad, jeez, Kentucky, same state, West Virginia, Kentucky. I've lived in them both. They're the same state. Not to be mean. You even cross the line from one to the other.
You can just drive straight through and you're there like an hour and 30 minutes.
Right, you don't even know. You can take the state sign down and you wouldn't even know. So anyway, Kentucky's new head coach Will Stein is bringing Pat Biondo from Oregon with him as the new GM. Now you're saying, Terry, who cares? I never heard of this Biondo, Biondi, whoever the hell he is. Well, these are those guys that get hired who are anonymous but can be very vital to your success. Biondo spent the last 4 years as director of football recruiting strategy at Oregon. Now he's going to get, obviously, a promotion and a bump in pay to basically be the point man on recruiting at Kentucky. Oregon could recruit, man. Really good recruiting crew with Dan Lanning and these guys. So that might be a really good hire.
For Kentucky.
For Kentucky.
Yeah.
Or West Virginia, because they're the same state, remember.
I mean, yeah, and now they got somebody out, too, where he played, in that state. I mean, well, he has some ties in the Kentucky area.
Yeah, and Will Stein, now here's what we don't know, we won't know until it starts, right? Will Stein was a really good offensive coordinator. Excellent OC. Does that mean he's going to be a good head coach? Nope, does not. We don't know if he can go from lieutenant to general. We'll find out. But I get the hire. I think the hire makes sense. Now we're going to see if it's successful. A lot of people figured at some point Will Stein would be a head coach. And he goes to, like you said, the place with his ties in Kentucky. And a good hire in Pat Biondo to basically run recruiting. All right, we don't have Jay here to do Jay versus the Internet, but we will check the wagering angle in the world of sports coming up next anyway here on the Postgame Show. Jalen's here punching the buttons. Terry Ford, appreciate you hanging out. One more segment to go here on the game. All right, do not forget tonight, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip, South Carolina, 12.5-point underdog, rolling to the upstate to take on Clemson at Little John. Again, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip right here on the Game in Columbia and our affiliate 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. Thursday night, Carolina calls, again, in Columbia and Myrtle Beach. Lamont Paris, the men's head coach, and Derek Scott from 7 to 8 on Thursday, and then Thursday Night Football afterwards here on the Game. All right, hit the music there, Jalen. Let's do a little Jay versus the internet, even though Jay's not here. I'll play Jay. Men's college basketball, SEC, number 11, Louisville, going to number 20, Tennessee. On a neutral court, I take Louisville. Tennessee's given 2.5 at home. Volunteers are 5-0 at home. Louisville's only played one road game all year. I'll take Tennessee at home and give the 2.5 to Louisville. Oklahoma at home. Good offensive team, not great on D. Porter Moser's teams at Loyola of Chicago are really good on defense. This Oklahoma team, the complete opposite. Oklahoma, the undefeated at home, and Kansas City's coming in. Yeah, the Chiefs. They got nothing else to play for. Kansas City 0-6 on the road. Oklahoma 4-0 at home. 29.5 points Kansas City's getting. I will give Kansas City the points and take Oklahoma. Mississippi State coming over a win over Utah. It's been, they have not been anything special so far this year on either end of the court. They host Long Island. Mississippi State giving Long Island 15.5. I'm tempted to take Long Island. Why not?
Why not?
Let's take Long Island, baby. It ain't my money. It's Jay Phillips' money.
And he needs it now.
That's right. Texas at home, 5-1, hosting Lemoyne. Texas, good solid offensive team. Defensively, when they're in the mood. Texas is giving 29.5 to Lemoyne. Texas will cover the 29.5. Arkansas, 6-0 at home. 14th ranked team in the country, hosting Queens, who is 0-5 away from home.
Arkansas.
Queens just wants a check. Arkansas is given 23.5. Arkansas will cover the number and hand Queens their check. Thanks for letting us give you a whooping. Here's your check. So I will take Arkansas and give Queens 23.5 right there, because that's, to me, that's an easy one.
Yeah, very.
That's it. Now, around the country, number 3, Duke, who have been really good this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving Lipscomb 32.5. I'm giving Lipscomb 32.5 too, baby.
Boozer, 25 points or more?
Oh, yes.
Okay. That's a top
Boozer
3 pick.
can play, man.
That's a top 3 pick in the draft right
Boozer,
there.
yeah, Boozer, he won't go long in the NBA draft without hearing his name. He's top 5.
Yeah. I got him top 3.
Do you? He's nice.
He's good.
And he's not like a twitchy athlete. He's just a really good basketball player with a high basketball IQ.
Carlos Boozer was good.
I was going to say, it's almost like his dad played in the NBA.
Yeah.
I'll give Lipscomb 132.5 at Cameron Indoor against Duke. Number 9, Michigan State. 9-1, 5-1 at home. Toledo coming into East Lansing, 1-2 away from home. Michigan State given 23.5.
That is a well-balanced team.
Now, I will give the 23.5.
In Michigan State.
Yeah, I'll take Michigan State. North Carolina's at the Dean Dome, the 12th ranked team in the country, undefeated at home.
Yes.
East Tennessee State coming in, they're only 1-3 away. UNC's only giving 17.5. I'm giving 17.5, baby.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Williams is playing out of his mind.
And Wilson will be another lottery pick.
Caleb Wilson.
Another lottery pick is Caleb Wilson.
Yep, he's top 5. That is a defined top 5 for me.
All right, BYU undefeated at home at 5-0, 10th ranked team in the country. Pacific coming in 2-3 away. BYU's given 23.5 to Pacific. BYU covers a number.
Yeah.
And I'll do one just personally for me. Kansas, number 17th ranked team in the country, is hosting Towson of Baltimore. Towson is winless.
The CAA.
They're winless away from home. Kansas is only 3-1 at home. Kansas is giving Towson 15.5. That's how many beers I used to drink a night on the Towson campus. I will take Towson to cover the 15.5, but Kansas wins.
Yeah, I think Towson is they're always been talented team in the CAA conference and outside of the conference, but
They are a solid program.
Yeah.
They are. And the fact I had a lot of fun running around that campus back in the early Terry Ford line.
Man.
So I will take Towson to cover the 15.5 against Kansas.
But I will say that they're not better than the Hofstra Pride. Go Hofstra, baby. Speedy Claxton leading the They beat Syracuse last weekend.
Syracuse is not Syracuse anymore, man.
No.
They just aren't. They are not Syracuse anymore.
Yeah. Cruz.
You know when that happens usually? Is when a team like Syracuse, who had been good forever, in this era is no longer good, it tells me that they're not hoofing NIL money up.
Right.
All of a sudden, they're not getting players anymore. And I know Jim Boeheim's no longer the head coach, but they're not getting players.
Yeah, no.
Something tells me that the NIL is not happening at Syracuse. That's just me.
I mean, their saving grace is Kyan, but it can't just be Kyan and the orange. It has to be Kyan and somebody else along with him.
So they are not what they used to be. Jalen, nice work, my friend. We'll be back with Jay again tomorrow. Postgame show. Thanks for putting up with us. Carolina basketball, 6:30. The men take on Clemson in the upstate. That's coming up later.